Please, you tell me what you can talk about at dinner.
Okay, what you want to think about is pleasant things.
My wife is dead.
What's up guys, and welcome back to Sliced. Now, dinner parties can bring up the most awkward of conversations, but the most important thing that you gotta nail is the food. And so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make salmon en croute or salmon in puff pastry and a beurre blanc or a white butter sauce. Now these are very easy, and I've got to credit this to my guy Jay. He was a sous chef at the hotel I used to work at, and he taught me this recipe and it's fantastic. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it today. And this is a recipe that's really simple, but it will wow your guests at the dinner table. I'm going to start by peeling and slicing up some carrots and taking the tops off. You're then going to match your asparagus to the same size and trim it down to length, but keep the bottom bit, don't throw them away. You can use them in stir fries or any other cooking. So next we're going to roll out a sheet of puff pastry and trim off the edges. Cut it lengthways into fours, and you want to put your salmon on 2 pieces without the skin, and put some cooked and cooled spinach on top of each piece. And using the other 2 pieces you can cover it, and you want to make sure you seal it really well, as when this cooks, the steam is what's going to cook the fish, so you want to make sure that there's no air gaps. Trim off the edges, and you can use that to sort of make any garnish that you want. I'm going to sort of make this into a plait and put it on top of my piece. Then you want to use a fork and crimp the edges. This does 2 things: it seals the pastry down and it makes a nice little design. You want to use some egg wash to brush over the fish, and you're going to put this in the fridge just to chill for a bit. Next we're going to chop a shallot and juice a grapefruit into a pan, and you want to match the amount of grapefruit juice with equal quantities of white wine vinegar. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the stove, and with some salt and pepper into it, you're going to reduce this down to about half the amount of liquid that's in the pan. And once it's reduced, you can pass it through a sieve. And on a medium-low heat, we're going to start to add cubes of very cold butter, whisking it in bit by bit. And as 1 cube of butter is melted, you're going to add the next. And what you start to see is that slowly it emulsifies into a really rich, creamy sauce. And it's really important to add the butter bit by bit so that it doesn't split. And you want to leave about 25 grams of butter so that we can glaze our vegetables with it. Take your pastry out of the fridge after about 15-20 minutes, and you're going to brush it once more with egg wash and bake it for 25 minutes at 190 degrees. And you'll know it's cooked when the bottom is nice and golden brown. Alternatively, you can poke the center of the pastry with a skewer, and if it returns out with no resistance, that means the fish is cooked. And you're going to boil your carrots and asparagus, and as the pan is still hot, once you've drained the water, you're going to add your butter, some salt and pepper, and just toss it around in the pan so that it becomes nice and glazed. And that's all there is to it. Now, this dish is literally just salmon in puff pastry with a white butter sauce, but you can be really fancy and call it a salmon en croute with a beurre blanc. And all your guests will be wowed. And I know we're going quite old school with the plating, but sometimes it's good to keep things classical. And that's 1 portion coming in at £7.64. And I know that's a lot more expensive than our usual struggle meals, but as it's a dinner party dish, it's quite reasonably priced. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and follow me on my socials at sliced_YT.